Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Or if you're new here, I'm Jack, I'm 26 years old and I'm based in London. Today guys, I really wanted to quickly cover over one of the things, sort of the opposite end of productivity, things that people aren't always aware of, and that's burnout. Now, the slight differences with burnout is that burnout, compared to being just slightly tired, is that burnout can effectively change the way you perceive something or want to do something long term. I often like, when I'm writing, to compare this to sort of a muscle injury. So for example, if you just start running, you run all of the time, then you're going to cause yourself an injury to start with. It's not something you can just throw yourself into straight away. There's definitely going to be an element of training, of building yourself up, building up that stamina. And it's the same when we're studying, it's the same when we're trying to learn a new skill. The reason I wanted to talk about this today is because it's so easy for us to just assume, much like a physical injury, that it's easy to spot the signs of burnout, but I don't think some people are even good at spotting the signs of themselves burning out, let alone how we notice other people burning out mentally. On to what causes burnout. From my perspective, I've never experienced a mental burnout as such. I've become fed up with work, or I've become sort of lazy around a topic because it's something that I'm not enjoying, but I've never experienced burnout, although I have worked with a colleague and I have experienced it firsthand, and it's not a pleasant thing to see. The hardest part about the whole thing, I think, was that this person still loved the job that they were doing. They still loved the people that they were working with, but they'd been doing so much at such a high intensity that they actually couldn't physically, mentally approach the job, even though they still enjoyed the type of work that they were doing. When it comes to the side effects of burnout as well, I think it's really important to note. So when you get physically injured, it's really easy to know, but it's also very uncomfortable, and it's uncomfortable to do just mundane things. My colleague said exactly the same thing happened with burnout. They found even outside of work, they weren't able to mentally enjoy the things that they used to enjoy. They used to find things that were mentally very easy, or even physically very easy, a challenge, just because they felt so worn out all of the time. Now we are finally approaching a time where mental health awareness is absolutely crucial, and you all have to be a part of it. It's not so much the employer having to notice when someone's mentally burnt out, it's as an employee as well. It's our responsibility to tell our employers and to let people know around us that we are struggling. As I said earlier, the colleague that I was working with could easily have been supported sooner, which would have meant they didn't burn out, and it probably would have meant the company didn't lose a really valuable employee. I need to make really clear here that this person didn't leave because they wanted to leave. They had to leave. It's that stage that they got to. It's not like being worn out or tired and taking a week's holiday to refresh yourself. This is someone who was mentally feeling the strain of work outside of the office, outside in their normal lives, their normal social lives, their normal family lives. They couldn't physically function at the same level. And a mental strain like this can have huge physical implications as well. I wanted to make this video today because I think it's very easy for a lot of people on the internet and for people to be watching these videos to say, oh, well, everyone else is working really hard all of the time, I have to be doing such a thing. You have to go at your own pace, and you have to realize what that pace is. That means starting slow. It doesn't mean throwing yourself into calendaring every day and following productivity tips and hacks that other people are giving and reading 3 books a week. You can't physically do all of those things, especially if you're someone who's not trained your mind to be prepared for those things. In my experience, it's always easier to take the time off earlier rather than later. There are loads of statistics flying around, but one that I read recently was that in 2017, a third of Britons didn't take their whole fully paid holiday allowance. In summary, we've got to look at this from a productivity standpoint. Imagine writing 50 blog posts on the first week that you want to start blogging, for example. Now compare that to writing 50 blog posts over 100 days. Every time getting feedback and updating the way your style. If you write the 50 posts straight off, you're not learning anything. You're just continuously just jamming out content at the level that you are at. And also, you're going to become burnt out so quickly. You'll probably get 10 posts in and just think to yourself, I don't want to be doing this. It's not going to build a habit long term. It's also going to make you really, really resent the job you have to do. So in this example, take the rest. Enjoy the time to learn between each post. Give yourself time to read. Give yourself time to consume content to allow yourself to produce better content. It'll also stop you, as I just said, burning out in the long term, because it won't feel like something that is a chore that you don't enjoy doing, that actually becomes a drain on your energy. As a friend said at university once, who was a personal trainer, it's the rest days that allow you to come back stronger and allow you to come back more focused, without the rest days, effectively you don't see the gains of the work that you're putting in. So that's been me, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the content. I hope I kept it short enough that people can just consume it. Obviously, if you've got any questions about burnout, please leave them in the comments down below. I've also put my blog, and if you could like and subscribe, it helps to grow this channel massively. Thank you very much.